What's going on, everyone? It's Tier, and I would like to welcome you all to The Bridge. That I haven't been on a live or done anything with comics as far as interviews or anything like that for a hot minute. So I'm excited to get back. I'm excited to talk to everyone. I'm excited to get this thing going. And our first show tonight is going to be with Scorpio Chronicles. Some of you may know him from Instagram. Some of you may know him from YouTube. He is very into supporting his local comic book shops, and he's actually working on a book, but I'm gonna let him talk more about that. I'm just gonna go through some things about what the bridge is, why I created it, and where I've been, because I've been gone for a hot minute. So tears back where I've been. So like I said, been gone for a hot minute, working on comics, doing all that stuff. Temple Eye issue 2 is coming out, then we're going on Cyber Team issue 3, which is going to be a 2-parter. So I really hope that you all are excited for that, because it's going to answer some things. So that's really all I've been doing, is just concentrate on the company, building some things from the internal, just to make sure that things stay solidified and go forward like it should. And on to what is the bridge about. The Bridge is a show that is for comic creators, writers, artists, cosplayers, everybody that's in the blurred nerd industry, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing a business for clothing, whether you're doing a subscription box. I will be inviting people on, talking to them, whether you have your own store, also be inviting people on, talking to them, and letting them give you the download of what's going on, so that people could kind of get more of an understanding of the industry, rather than the product once it hits the table. You can kind of get the behind the scenes, what people are paying for things, the heartache, because there's a lot of heartache in this. So yeah, that's what the bridge is about. It's to bridge that gap for you. So yeah, now go ahead and invite him on up here. Mr. First Manning, Scorpio Chronicles. Here he is.
I've been gone for a minute now. Back with the jump off. Goons in the club. Case something. Had to bring a little bit of Lil' Kim up in there to jump on. That was my jam.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's another thing, y'all. The bridge is gonna be fun. Like,
yes,
we're gonna talk about stuff, but I want it to be fun. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves when you're here. So we're gonna be doing crazy stuff. And also, if you have any questions, ask them, and we will get to those at the end when it's time to ask the question. But first off, I'm gonna put this up here. Hi, SJ. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. What's going on? What's going on? All right, so let's go ahead and get back. So Scorpio, we know that you support your local comic book shops.
Always.
We know that you're working on your book, but
yes,
one of the questions I have is, how long have you been reading comics, and what is your favorite?
Believe it or not, I actually started collecting comics back in, I want to say like 2003, 2004. I have not been collecting comics that long.
Right.
That's when I was actually working at Barnes and Noble. No, I was working at Borders Books and Music. I was a barista. I worked in the cafe section. And I was talking to somebody, and he was like, they have a comic book section. I was like, so you collect comics? And he started telling me, about them and all the different places to go. And he was like, what's something that I like? And I was like, I kind of like the dark, grim stuff, And then that's when I was introduced to Hellblazer.
That's the perfect one to get introduced to.
Which is which is where I started reading, and I was like, oh, I like Hellblazer.
Yeah.
And so I started. I forgot which one it was, but I did post pictures of it light years ago on my page. So if you bold enough to scroll all the way down, you'll see it. But otherwise, I'm not gonna.
You got a lot of posts.
No.
You got a lot of posts.
Yeah.
And for some folks who are listening, and if you may have heard Hellblazer and may not know what it is, or you may not have heard of Hellblazer, that is John Constantine's title. So I know I've heard a lot of people say, well, I don't like Hellblazer, but I love John Constantine. And it's like,
it's the same person. Hello.
That's not how that works.
Can't have John Constantine without Hellblazer. Hello.
Like, I mean, I get you can like the character and not like the stories, but it's him.
Kind of go hand in hand.
Exactly. They go hand in hand. It's like saying you don't like Captain America, but you like Captain America comics is weird. Yeah. But yeah, that's who the Hellblazer comics are. Is John Constantine, one and the same. So I kind of jumped the gun on the first question because I was so excited to get this started. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Not about the book yet, because we're gonna get to that. But just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, some of the things you like doing. You know, we can talk about comics and stuff too if you want to. You ever talk about that? But let's not get into aging yet.
No,
we'll
not
there.
yet. You gotta say the
let's not talk about
stuff for last.
Exactly.
Stuff for last. Okay, so I am in my prime of 38 years young.
That's a good age.
Yes.
That's a good age.
I'm born and raised here in Tampa, Florida. I am a true Floridian. Okay. So when I say it's cold down here, and it's only like 55 degrees, it's cold to me. Don't come on my post telling me I don't know what cold is, because then you're gonna get a Floridian cuss now. Okay?
That sounds like you're coming at me. Like, am I bad? I'm sorry.
No, I ain't coming at nobody. Anybody that come on my post saying you don't know what, because I've had people do that to me in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what cold is, and I went off on the person. I didn't even know who this man was. I just cussed him flat out, and he never responded again.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because like for me, I'm originally from NC, and 52 back home in NC is cold. When I moved to Colorado, though, 52 here, I was cold coming from North Carolina, but everybody else was walking around in Crocs and Crocs socks and shorts. So
so I'm not. Yeah, this is cold. That's cold to me. 40, 30, that's cold, freezing cold to me. I'm putting everything on, all jackets. But born and raised here in Tampa, Florida. Only child. No, well, I do have siblings. Let me not lie. I do have siblings. They over there. But only child, no kids, not married, single, not in a relationship, just enjoying my single self, and it might stay that way for a long time because people are weird.
Nothing wrong with that, and people are weird.
Y'all are getting weirder by the day.
Oh man,
the entitlement.
People are.
I can't.
Oh man. I think we lost some viewers on that one. So
they'll come back.
They'll come back. They're just taking a break. All right. So how long you been writing?
I have actually been writing since, I would say, middle school, because I would always start. I would always like jot down a poem and stuff like that, and just write stuff down in my thoughts. And my mom taught me that. She always taught me to have a journal and sometimes just write my thoughts out and write out my prayers. Write things in there that just be open to myself. Things that I don't share with her, I can write it down. So I've always written, but I really got into writing back in 2012, I believe. Okay. And I had wrote this short story, and I just let it sit there. It's called The Son of a Preacher Man. I just wrote a short story. I just let it sit there. I recently, back in 2019, actually took it to Amazon Kindle and had it published on there. So you can go on there and purchase it for $1.99. The Son of a Preacher Man is by F.T. Manning. That's me. It's a 26-page short story. But
Okay.
I'm most likely gonna take that and put that either like in a book of short stories. I
Mhm.
love writing short stories. I'm a big
Amazing.
fan of short stories. I don't know why, but I love movies that have the short stories. But that's where the writing all come from, and I still write to this day. I have my phone. I have so many writing apps on my phone till it's
Hmm.
sad that my phone gets hot because I'm driving and I have an idea. Oh, and I pull up my video and I just start talking to the video and just
Yeah.
to save it so I can come back to it. My Instagram,
Hmm.
TikTok, I have pages saved where I have writing material. When I
That's
find
what's
stuff
up.
up, I can use that to make a story out of that.
That's
Okay,
what's
I
up.
can use that. That's what I do. So yeah,
I
been
did the
writing for a
same.
while.
Yeah, I did the same. I use notes on my phone. So it's like when
Yeah.
an idea pops in, I go to notes and I have like a folder set up for like personal story ideas and then one set up
Hmm.
for sovereign comics. And I just
Yeah.
go in there, just type out the idea as quickly as I can before I forget it. So have you
Me
wrote
too.
any? Yeah, you got to because sometimes it'll hit and then it'll go away. So I've had that happen.
Trust
But
me,
have
I
you
know.
written any short stories lately?
Not. I actually found one
Okay.
that I was writing on. I had started and I didn't finish. I was cleaning out something and I found it. I had written on a notepad. It was called, I think it was called People in the Water or something like that. It
Hmm.
is horror,
Oh,
but I have
okay.
to go. Yeah, I have to go back over that and take a look at it. Probably got to make some adjustments. I'm probably going to keep that one too, right along with
Uh-huh.
Son of a Preacher Man, and keep those.
Oh,
Get
the
like
short story book.
a nice short story
That's what's up.
book. So that's coming. But and I also am. I started writing something else. I believe I called it Cajun Moon. So I
Hmm.
think that's the name of it, but I still have to work on that title. But yeah, I'm still writing stuff down and also working on my book at the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What we're gonna talk about is
Yeah,
that book. So I hope
can't
y'all.
wait.
Yeah, y'all gotta learn about that one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they're
I
not
gotta learn
ready
about
for
that
that
one.
one.
They're not ready. They're not ready. But we, oh man, are we there? I think we're
Oh,
there. Are we there to
oh
talk
yeah,
about that? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So let's talk about the Agent
yeah.
13. Uh, give us a little synopsis. Don't tell us where it came from or anything. We'll get to that.
Hmm.
And also don't reveal the number 13.
Hmm.
But just tell us a little bit about the story. Like, what does it entail? What is it about? What can we expect from it?
Without giving too much
Yeah,
away,
yeah, of course. We don't want no
that is so
spoilers. The
hard.
first book is the
That
first
is
book is coming and no spoilers.
so hard to do.
See,
Um,
now you see how I feel.
oh
Y'all
God,
be
I hate that because I'll be like, because I'm gonna be done slipped and said something be like, dang it, that's in book two.
we're supposed to know
Um,
that.
yeah, but
And this
it
is live,
is.
so I can't edit it out.
Oh
So,
well, if you get it, you get it. You'll love me for it later.
yep.
Trust me, I'll put something in the book that'll make you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is about a hitman
Yep.
that is taking on a couple of head people that are trying to take over the world. He is ruthless. He does not care.
Okay.
He does have a heart somewhere, but it's covered.
Okay. It's,
It's
it's covered.
it's like a vault. You know when you see that movie and you think you got through the vault, then when you get behind that vault, it's an even bigger vault.
Yeah, it's a bigger vault.
Then you get behind that vault, and then it's a big old double brick wall, and you're like, damn it, I give up.
Like, what's
That's
going
the type of heart he has. But and he this gentleman just does not let things bother him. He does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. If you're in the way, he has no problem with eliminating you.
on? Okay. So
That's it
he just don't care at all.
at all.
So is he opposed to eliminating, like, would he eliminate family if he had to? Like, is he at that level to where he's like, oh, I don't care if you're blood, like
It
you're the
depends.
target. I'm gonna take you down. It depends. Okay.
It depends.
Don't give away anything. Don't give away anything. I am curious though. This
Mhm.
organization that's trying to take over the world. What was your approach to that? Because I know a lot of folks in comics,
Mm-hmm.
they'll do the organizations that are trying to take over the world or trying to take over a government or stuff like that. Like I have them in my comics. I haven't revealed them yet, but they're there. But a lot of us tend to use like the ancient times, and we use like they've been around for a long time, which I do have some that are like that, and I do have some that are new. What was your approach with them? Did you make them like old blood, like they've been here forever and just been playing with, puppeteering things from behind the scenes for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, or are they fairly new and they're just like, hey, y'all ain't doing it right, so we're gonna take over type of situation?
They are fairly new.
Okay.
They were. You'll see the gentleman that trained him. Is it okay to mention his name?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
was it just okay?
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
gentleman that trained him, Matthew James Sinister, that trained him. He's like a father figure to him. He's actually a part of the organization, and
Okay.
he's not a fan of what they're trying to do. They're trying to take over different parts of the world and make it like a whole communist thing where they rule. They take over everything, and they're in full control.
Okay.
And he's not a fan of that. He thinks that everyone should have the free will to do as they please and live their life. And they wouldn't pretty much wouldn't listen to him.
Yeah.
And take it. So he's like, okay, we got to end him. That's the only way. If he doesn't, they're gonna continue to do it.
Oh man.
So that's the whole thing. So they're fairly new, and they're not something that's been going on for a while. I don't want to do the whole Illuminati thing and stuff like that. That's been out. That's been done.
Yeah.
And out.
Illuminati happens a lot. Like
It
I
does.
did something like one of my ancient. Like I'm not gonna say what they are because I haven't revealed them, and yeah, I'm not gonna because everybody's gonna how y'all do me.
Yeah,
call me Tom Holland. But I have made different approaches with how I do my thing. So I like the fact that you're making them new. Like they're kind of, I don't want to say millennials in the world take over.
No.
They're not millennials, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're just the new guys. They're like, you know what?
Put it this way,
y'all been doing it wrong.
They've done their research. They've done their research, and they just look back and say, y'all not doing this right. Let me show you how. This is how you're going to take over.
Yeah, like if you want to take over something,
you take over.
This is how you do it.
And this is what you're supposed to do. So that's dope. That's what it came from.
I like that, and I think that's a pretty new approach. They're just sitting back, and you have these individuals who feel like they can rule the world, and they're just like looking at it, what is going on, and they're like, nah, you politicians ain't doing it right. We're gonna show you the right way to do it.
Yeah, let me just show you how to do it. Let's just go and take over a full country and just tell them and just set all these rules.
Yeah,
and you can't do this, you can't do that, and this is how. That's pretty much.
That's dope. That's dope. So, Mr. Sinister.
Yes.
Would you, if this is a spoiler, don't answer it.
Okay.
But would you say he is a founding member of this organization, or was he one that was kind of picked up as maybe for his skills or something? They realized, oh, we're going to need you because we want to do this and this, and we're going to need you for that. Or is he more of a founding member? If it's a spoiler, don't answer because I want people to get your book, and I don't want you to spoil anything. Spoiler? Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on. So so all right, let's get to this question right here. Where did the idea from the agent come from? Like what? Like were you like I get ideas sometimes watching TV in the shower. If you're a writer, you know what I'm talking about. That's where a lot of ideas happen. I also have dreams, or I have go through my own little dreaming session. Like I'll power dream is what I call it. Like I'll force myself to dream, but sometimes it'll turn into a dream. But for you, what created the agent? Like, where did it come from? Were you just driving? Did you pull it out of yourself? Like, were you taking a shower and was like, oh shit, that's a good idea? Like, where did it come from for you?
I like to watch a lot of, you already know, I love horror and I love a little action pack too.
Right.
But I would say that the agent came from within myself because this person is a big part of me. And you're going to learn that probably in the next question. I'll tell more. But I was also, what really triggered it was I watched a movie with Timothy Hutton called The Dark Half. I suggest you watch that. It's a very good movie. He is actually a writer and he teaches at the college level. And he stated this one line, and it really stuck with me and really kind of opened up that door for writing for me.
Mhm.
He said that we're all human beings. He said that's plural.
Mhm.
He said we have our everyday side that you see us, like right now, you see Scorpio Chronicles in
Mhm.
front of you. Okay. Then we have that side where we don't show everyone. The side that we keep closed in, that we keep under lock and key, because if we show that person, then people are going to look at us completely different.
Okay.
So he said, but sometimes you do have to let that side out, let it take the keys and take the car and just go for it, right? Just let that side out and let it free. So this is my way of letting that side of me out
Okay.
and letting him have his say.
That's dope.
Yeah.
There's a saying that a lot.
It's kind of, I think it's like a more
More of a joke than a true saying, but it says a lot of writers
Or,
could be serial killers, but we rather do the
yeah.
story for.
because of the
Yeah.
ideas that we have, and just
This,
because if you think about some of the stuff that writers do, my
oh
favorite
yeah.
author Stephen King, some of the stuff he's
He's like,
done,
where did this come from? What
Yeah.
is in your head?
Like your mind is out there.
It's
Um,
crazy.
yeah.
The Tommy knockers, all that crazy stuff.
Mhm.
But I love every last bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dope stuff. Like I like the idea of when a person creates a character,
Mhm.
they put a little bit of themselves in there. Um, and I think especially nowadays, you tend to see too much where people just go
Mhm.
too far overboard and put too much of themselves into it.
Yeah.
And it's like you see it and you're like, oh, you're writing yourself,
Hmm.
or you it's like, come on. Or
This
they
is you.
yeah, right. This is you. We know this is you.
Yeah.
Or they don't put enough of themselves into it. And then because of that, you see the disconnect with them and their characters.
Mhm.
It's almost like they're writing this character, but they have no idea who the hell they're writing. They don't know who this character is, but they're sitting there writing them and they're just, now it's hard to do that, I guess, kind of with established characters because
Mhm.
they don't belong to the people that are writing them.
No.
But I do think that find if you can find qualities within yourself that represent that character, you could probably write them well
And
rather
see that
than, you
that's
know.
the whole thing about my character. I can write
Mhm.
him very well
Mhm.
because there's some. If you were to see me, because I've been told this, and I've never realized it myself. I've been told this by my mom, family members, other people. I've been told that when I get really angry, like when I'm ready to really go off, they say a whole completely different person. They say
Yeah.
my demeanor changed, my facial expressions change. I just look like a completely different. It's like somebody else takes
Mhm.
over.
Right.
And I always tell them, that's my dark side. You don't want to meet him. He doesn't care. So that's
Uh,
where I can write about him a lot because I'm really letting him come out and just have a little fun. But then I got to put him away for a little bit because he'll have too much fun. And then he
I
likes it
feel
out
that.
here.
I feel that. Like I do, and that's a good thing too, because like you said, that quote was perfect. Because I
Yeah,
think a lot of people want to see themselves as so great or so good that
correct.
they don't see that they have a bad side. Um,
We all do. We
and
have
everyone does.
multiple sides to us. Like I
Exactly.
have I have the business side of me too, the entrepreneur business side,
Yeah.
where I have no problem with firing you if
Yep.
you're not doing the job correctly.
And you got to.
It doesn't.
I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
I
I,
think if
I
folks started seeing themselves as D20, that's the gaming
mhm,
dice for anybody that's listening. Like you see yourself as D20, I think they could be better. Because I know, like for me, every time I put someone on one of my characters, I put a piece of myself. Like even the dark crap with the villains, where you're just like, "What were you thinking?" I'm like, "Oh, that's me." Because some days I do wake up and I'm just like,
mhm.
"I wish I had a spaceship with a nuke."
If you
Talking
see a
about a certain
comic book,
title.
if you see a comic book with bunnies that he's written, please make sure you have a therapy section set up
Like, oh, yeah,
after
like
you read that.
Like I wish I like wait. Y'all think that's bad? Wait till y'all meet
No,
Obsidian.
hush, please. Please.
Obsidian. As far as dark side, and this is like that's the reason why I say I understand where you mean with the agent, because you
Yeah.
pull from your dark side for him. So like for
Mhm.
me, for now, I'm not going to reveal anything, but for now, Obsidian
Mhm.
is my dark side. So when he starts doing stuff, that's the stuff that I've been thinking about, especially in Cypher Team issue 3. That's going to be a 2-parter. Everything you see him doing that are things that I've been thinking about, things that I've wanted to do, things
It's
that I
funny.
can't
It's
do, and I'm putting it in
funny
the
that you.
comics.
It's funny that you say that
Mhm.
because my character does and says everything that I want to say and
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I mean, he just flat out. If you're ugly, he just gonna look at and tell you, you should have never even came out the house. He's that type of person, and he doesn't bite his tongue at all. And I'll bite my tongue, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice,
yeah,
but then I'll tell you the truth too. I'll be like, don't do that again.
yeah.
But otherwise, yeah,
And you have to, like people are gonna. I'm telling you, when people see what Obsidian does, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's what you've been thinking about for the last decade of all the craziness that's been going on." Because everything that he's gonna do is gonna reflect. Because of course, some people, oh, he doesn't write for this, and but it's gonna
mm,
reflect, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's what you've been thinking." Yeah, that's what I've been
yeah,
thinking. I just put it in a story form, and I made it a part of the story
So that it makes sense. Speaking on telling a story,
yeah.
how do you feel about that? Do you feel like we were just talking about how we put ourselves into our
Mm,
characters, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. I
at
think
all.
putting a piece of yourself into your character is great because it connects you with that character.
Hmm.
Putting all of yourself into that character is
A little too much.
yeah, you're kind of egotistical if you're doing that.
I'm glad
Not
you
putting
love
in
you, but you
yeah,
love you a
but
little too
yeah,
much.
yeah, but that's you. We don't care. Like, not putting enough into yourself, I think, disconnects you from the character.
Correct.
But as far as story writing, because I think a lot of folks have lost it with that. Um,
Yeah.
I get agendas. I get putting yourself into the character,
Hmm.
and in cases like I said, doing too much and doing so much to where the story just it loses its footing. It's like you're holding water in your hand now. There's no story there anymore. Um, how how do you feel about that? Do you think that is a good idea? Just to I got something to say, put it in a story.
No,
or do you think it's better if you say what you got to say, but make it part of the story? What are your ideas on that? Oh, we just lost one follower. We just lost one
make
viewers.
it make it part of the story. Like I
Mhm.
can't stand when you start off this way. The next thing I know, you're doing this. You dipped
Mhm.
off. I'm like, oh. Then you come back. Then you dip off again, and then next thing you know, you just go straight down. I'm just
Yeah,
like, that made no sense.
yeah.
Why did you do that?
Hmm.
Why did this pigeon fly in and started fighting? Why? What's his purpose? What's his meaning? Why? And to me that's how you lose
Yeah,
the readers.
yeah.
Say what you can say what you have to say. You can incorporate it in the story, but don't
Hmm.
just flat out and just
Yeah.
this is
Like make
how
it
I
part.
feel, because you're not. This is not a look. This is not a
Mhm.
dictatorship.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
everyone's gonna take that differently. Some people may like, yeah, then some people may like, okay, I never want to read that again
Yeah.
because I
And
don't
they
think that way. So
exactly
I try to keep. You can incorporate it, but
the focus.
the don't lose yourself into it. You get so into it till you're pounding your opinion in people, and I
Hmm.
hate when people do that.
Yep.
So
And,
yeah,
and,
you
and
messed up a
I
whole series.
yep, and I agree. And it's like there's a lot of stories that have been told where the writer tells the story, and then they drop things in that story to where you don't even think about it. You don't even realize what it is that you're reading
It's like, why
until you're
why are we?
done.
Yeah, it's like, why
Yeah.
are we here?
Mhm.
How did we
Mhm.
get here? You was just. It was just daylight. All of a sudden, okay, what's the purpose of us going into the dungeon?
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
have powers in the dungeon? Is it gonna guide me to where I need to go? Is it gonna what's the why is there a camel here?
And see, that's just horrible storytelling right there. Like
Yeah,
you have to blend it.
and and
You
I've
have to go ahead.
I've
I'm sorry.
seen that happen, and I've seen that happen where something just flew out of nowhere, and just I'm just like, okay, wait, it was just some people over here doing this, then this just came in here. What is this?
Mhm.
That's how you to me. That's how you lose the reader too.
Exactly. Um, I think it's maybe a part of grandiose, like a lot, because like I said, a lot of people they look at their writing and they
Mhm.
want to tell their story. They want to, I guess, elevate, stand on their soapbox, and that's in different
Mhm.
storytelling. So
Yeah.
people don't,
I mean,
it's
we're
different
all.
storytelling, but like, but I think it loses folks, like you said, like and then not only does it lose the folks that are reading it,
Mhm.
it loses the writer because a lot of people forget beats. And I hear a lot of folks nowadays where they say, "Oh, that's a trope. That's a trope. Why are you going to put that up here and then reveal it later? That's a trope.
Yeah.
That's a trope that you need because if I just reveal something at the end, you're gonna be like,
You're gonna see why.
you never
Oh,
said
that's why
anything
they
about
did.
this.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? That's a
Yeah.
trope you need." And I hear a lot of people saying, back away from the tropes. You don't need tropes.
Mhm.
Just write how you want to write, and that's you're hearing it from a writer, two writers. That's a horrible idea. If you're gonna do something, like have something fly out from stage left
Because then
into
some
center
people are
screen,
because readers are
mention
gonna
that
be
thing.
like, okay, this was not mentioned. What is
Hmm.
this? Why is this? You are gonna get some readers that are gonna be like, why is this here?
Why is this here?
What's
Where
its
did it come
purpose?
from? You never mentioned this.
Hmm.
What's going on? And I've done that before. Like I've read comics from the big two, the big three,
Yeah.
um, from indie, where I'm reading and I'm into the story, and then all of a sudden it's freaking
Boom.
Monkey Ranch thrown in. And I'm
Like,
like,
what?
did they mention this? Did I miss something? Am I skipping something? What's going on? And then I turn
Yeah.
back and I'm like, no, they never mentioned this. Was it in the previous? No, it's not in there. Are they going to explain this later? And then
Or
this is the catcher. They don't.
or better yet, it's book one and it happens at the end, and you like, okay, what is this for? Why is he wearing this necklace?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
necklace does what? It came
Yeah.
from where?
Mhm.
Then you going back in the first page. Okay, maybe I missed something.
Yeah. Now, if you explain it later, like let's say that's the
Mhm.
cliffhanger, and then you explain it in this issue,
Yeah.
then okay, all right, you got me. Let's keep going.
Mhm.
But if you mention it and then drop it,
And
it's like,
don't hear from it in issue
yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what is this? Why can't they use
yeah,
that cross they had?
yeah. It's like is storytelling. I think a lot of people kind of forget the storytelling is it's free form. Yes,
Mhm.
because you're coming with your imagination, doing something, writing something that maybe no one else has thought about is
Mhm.
coming from your head. So in that state, it's free form.
Yeah.
However, I've been cussed out and yelled at because I say stories have to follow a beaten path. Does everybody have to follow the same beaten path?
No.
No. However, there are ways to tell a story. Yeah, the beginning, your middle, you're in.
Yeah.
Everything peppered in between is like if you want to have this big old end piece, we need to know how we got there. And if you're not telling me in the beginning or the middle, and I just find out in the end, and you're not telling me in those little snacks in between
Mhm.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be confused. I'm like,
What is? Yeah.
what is
I mean, you
this?
have
How did we get here?
that's the purpose with my book. I try to make sure that I keep that almost like that same pace a little bit
Yeah,
because I don't want you to lose focus. There's going to be things, I'm telling you, there's going to be things thrown at you in this book that you're going to be like, wait, what is this? Wait, why
mhm.
is he doing this? Is he okay? You don't think, does he have a mental issue? Is he psychotic? What is wrong with him? And then further down the line,
You
because
answer it.
I have, mind you, I answered it on the first page.
Yeah, you did.
But and that's the best thing about my artist. I wish he
Hmm.
was. I wish he was on right now, Dan.
Yeah.
The
Dan's
best.
gonna be on. He's gonna be on the show one day though when he can. He's gonna be on the show.
Dan, oh my gosh, Dan put the Easter eggs in, and I was like, Dan, they're not gonna even notice. He said that's the purpose. They're not supposed to see them until
And I
do a
and I
reveal
love
of
that.
it.
And I love that. Like that's stuff that I do on my comics where it's not just the dialogue. I drop visual Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And I hide them. And Dan did that perfectly. I remember when we looked at the page, I was like, wait a second. And at first, I was like, is this an error? I was like, is this an error? And then I looked at it again. I'm like, oh, all right. Bet.
Yeah.
No one's gonna catch that.
He had showed it to me. I was like, I didn't even see that when you first showed it to me. I was like, oh, I said they're not gonna catch that.
Yeah. And now folks are gonna be looking for it, especially if they're here when the book comes out. Age 13 folks gonna be like, I want to see what they were talking about.
You're not gonna see it.
And if you see it, like when the book comes out, just like dropping Scorpio's DMs or his comments and be like, hey,
do, and I will either confirm or I won't confirm, or I will confirm or I will deny and say you're wrong. Nope, sorry.
Exactly. Oh, storytelling. I didn't think this would go into a storytelling 101 course, but
hey,
that's what the bridge is about.
That's what it is. Don't mind helping others do what I have the opportunity and was blessed with opportunity to do.
Yep.
So I have no problem with doing that. I don't mind helping people, but the thing is, do you want the help? Don't look at me as if, oh, this is your first time writing a book. What can you tell me? You'll be surprised what I can tell you.
Especially when you've been doing it for a while and studying it.
Yeah.
You know.
Plus, I have a mom that's a retired school teacher.
There's that. There's that. So of course, you know, she was like,
that ain't right. Why you ain't do that apostrophe there?
Yeah. Like
she's probably reading the stories like, where's the subject?
This?
Like, how did you get here?
Exactly.
What's going on?
when I came to her with the idea, but she was like, that don't make sense. Why did you have this? I'm just like, Mom.
And it made you think more.
I was like, what you mean? She said, no, that don't make sense. The name is silly. What's the purpose of the name? I'm just like, she said, no, do something different. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but the dope thing about it is because she said that, it made you think more into it. Like, okay, you said the name is stupid. What is the point of the name? Let me think into the point of the name. And then you created a point for the name.
Which can I go ahead and give him the name? Or is that the next point?
Because I think that is because we were going to talk about what the deal is with 13. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to that next question.
Go ahead.
So yeah,
what's the deal with the number 13?
Number 13. Oh my goodness. If you all have been on my Instagram and have been watching my page, I have been dropping 13 since I've mentioned I was writing a book.
Pretty sure the Illuminati followed you.
Anything with the number 13, the word 13. I'm even rocking my necklace that has 13 on it. Yeah, I'm anything 13. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my first name is First, First. Okay, it's not a typo. That is my actual name. Okay, so my evil side, I named him 13. That's my evil side, which is Alex Jason Archie is his name. Okay. I was just gonna name him Archie at first, but my mom was like, that don't make sense. What's the purpose of Archie? She's like, and she was just like saying it in the way. I'm just like, really, Mom? You just making fun of it? The Archie, that doesn't make sense. So I can't.
Aren't all black brothers the same?
I'm just like, goddamn, Mama. So I was just like, okay. I was like, I got to think of a name. Then I thought about it. I said, Mama, what was the name that you were going to name me, but my grandmother shut it down? Mm-hmm. My name was actually supposed to be Alex Jason.
Okay.
So his last name, it actually flowed. Alex Jason Archie. And yes, his name spelled out, if you count the letters, is 13 letters. Isn't that amazing how that came about without me even actually doing it? It's actually 13 letters.
So 13 is ingrained into him. Like that is him.
Yes.
In more ways than one. I'll let you, if you want to, talk about
the other part, which I don't think is a spoiler. I think it's a character info. The other reason why he's called 13.
The other reason why he's called 13.
From what you told me. remember what you told me? You said that he's also called 13 because because of the numbering he's in, because there's other because there's here, let me put it in chat.
Hold
Because
on,
if it's a
hold on,
spoiler,
make sure you
If
ain't
it's a
got me. Hold on,
spoiler, I don't want to say anything. Hold on, let
hold
me
on,
DM
make
you.
sure you ain't
'Cause
got
I-
me
'cause-
mixed up in the
No,
mixed up with some of your stories because you know you got 13 in your stories too.
yo, that honestly, no.
hold on, I'm about to DM it to you.
Type it in the type. Go ahead and type that. Cause I'm like, what the hell you talking about?
That part.
Is that a spoiler? If that's a spoiler, don't say anything.
Oh,
Yeah, if that's because I know that's more of his character building. But if you don't want to say anything about him with that, then yeah.
actually, no. We actually okay. I remember that because I was just like, what are you talking about? Now I remember now because I haven't because I'm actually still working on that part too.
Mhm.
I have to like
Oh,
finish
put more in
getting.
depth into that.
I'm actually finding other people to go into that. He's actually number 13, the agent 13. So he actually is the agent that actually did what they needed him to do. So I'm glad you love all things 13. So do I.
That's Will right there.
Will is a good friend of mine. He's also another writer in the Soulverse. He's writing The Omen, which is that title right there.
Oh,
Which
cool. But yes,
And
he is Agent 13. They tried with other agents,
Mhm.
tried 12 different agents. It failed, but he was the one that actually manifested into what they wanted. So
okay.
he does play a part. I am going to give this part. He does
Mhm.
play very well with Sovereign Comics. Mind you, before I even knew Tier, I already had this figured out. He is a human. He is a human chimera. I'm gonna give you
Okay.
that much. So
That
you
and
all,
that's
you all,
spoiler territory, y'all. Y'all gonna have to
I'm
read
gonna
the
give you
book.
that.
Y'all gonna have to read the book.
I'm gonna just
Really.
give you that. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna let
Yep.
you look up what a human chimera is,
Hmm.
and let's see if you all will catch on after you read the book. But yeah, the number 13 that's where it derived from, and yes, there are 12 others that you're gonna see in other books.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's gonna
On
come a time where he's gonna have to face each one.
and because like I said, I know about him,
Hmm.
for reasons. One, and we'll say this for folks who don't know, this book is being published under Sovereign One. Um, so yeah, and it's dope. I don't pick up trash. All the books we have
No.
is insane. But I know that he kind of has, because of the human chimerism and other things.
Hmm.
Are the other 12 similar? Because I remember you telling me something, but I'm gonna let you explain it. But I remember I was like, yo, I dig that because he's broken, but he's not the all of them are. He's not the only one that's broken. And
No,
right, okay,
no, they're not. To answer your
okay,
question, no, they're not.
okay. So you're the A rat type.
He's the special one that
Mhm,
it whatever they did, it took
mhm.
and it did what they needed it to do. The other ones, let's just say something happened
Uh-oh.
that 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 they went in one way and came out different.
Okay, y'all hear
You
that?
know how it is when that you go into the hospital with two legs and you come out with three. Yeah.
Uh-oh. See, look, Will's like me. This is Will's like me. This is why we work well together. Now he's all like, idea.
Uh
um,
huh. And that and
but yeah,
that's the part what I love about writing this
mhm,
comic and coming up with this character. It's like I can do so much with it.
mhm,
Like we had spoke. There are some things where there were some people that are off to where we could find a way to bring them back to fight them again.
yeah,
But there's we may or may not do that. But it's there's so much I can do with this idea. That's what I love about it too. And it'll all literally just come together,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's that's it. But yeah, let's just say those other 12, they were not the chosen one.
Oh snap!
Put it that way.
They were not. They were not the
No,
chosen one.
no.
There you go. Y'all heard it here first. They were not the chosen.
And I will explain that later on in the book when I say the chosen one.
Hmm.
I will explain the reason why in the book. I don't know which one I'm gonna do it in. I'm gonna do his origin in the book,
Hmm.
but I don't know which book I should do that in. I don't know if that should be number 13 or should that be that's something we'll
And
talk
see,
about.
yeah, we'll talk about that. And I dig that because you know me, I'm all about themes.
Yeah.
Um, and
That a theme. Um,
Yeah.
that a theme. So, what are some things that you feel like you can drop to us? Is about this lovely agent that you haven't already. Things that aren't spoiler, the things that you would like us to know, and to prepare ourselves for as the book
Prepare
comes
your
out.
prepare yourself to see a lot of I don't want to use the word flashy, but let's just say Alex has no problem with making money and spending it. Like he's
okay.
the type of person where he will literally walk into a club. He likes what he saw. He walks out the owner of the club. He just goes in and purchases it because he wants. Oh, I like this. Okay, I'm gonna go in here and buy it just because I can.
Okay.
He has that. Some of you may think that oh, he's very arrogant.
Hmm.
He's gonna come off as arrogant. No, he's just a confident. He know what he's capable of. He know what he can do. He know. Yes, you do got to read it. He know what he can do. He know what he can. What he can't do. He has that mindset where what is her name? Venus Williams. She did it in an interview, and I love her for doing this. She told the interviewers they were like coming at her a certain way, and she said, "You know what you all say does not bother me, because I know that none of you are like me. None of you can do what I can do. So what you say is not." I was like, "Damn, Venus." She said, "None of it can do what I can do." So I'm just like, "Okay, yeah." So that's more of what's going to be going on. Oh no. So that's mostly what's going to be going on. So he's Tira will be back, you all. His power just kicked out. He'll be coming right back on. So he does have funds. He is also, I don't know if I should give that part out. Well, you have to see it in order to, let's just say that he's an insurance salesman also. I'm gonna stop right there because that's giving a little too much. You're gonna see the way he does the hits is through insurance policies, and that's how he makes his money. These insurance policies are not cheap; they're like $2 to $3 million each. So that's how he makes a lot of his money. So yeah, it's that part. So that's is that part, but also see here more about Alex. Of course, let me just give you like a brief description. He is tall. I've always wanted to be 6'2", so I made Alex 6'2". Why not? I've always, of course, he has the natural hair, he, the locks, he, motorcycles, cars, anything he can afford. He's very stylish. He loves to dress and look good, so he has no problem when it comes to spending money. But Alex is, a, you all are going to enjoy him. You're going to really, really, really like what's. where the book is going. I am going to take you through an emotional roller coaster with this book. So just be ready for the ride. It's I've already told people that they're gonna be praying when they read this book, especially the first one, how he's gonna respond to a certain situation, the very first situation, his first kill in the book. How he's gonna respond to the situation. He's just gonna do what he thinks that needs to be done to save someone. So yeah, is the book. I am coming up with like a small preview soon. That's going to be something with some other things added on to it. So yeah, it's gonna be a very good book. I cannot wait for you all to read it. I'm currently finishing up book two. Hopefully that's going to be coming out soon after that, and we are going to be doing a Kickstarter. This preview is something. This preview is something that is going to give you like a small, like a short preview, and just kind of give you like a little bit of what the book is about, just a very short little synopsis. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, Tears Power kicked out because of the rain, you all. Oh, so he's gonna be back soon, but we're gonna keep talking. Okay. So, but let's see here. See what else we want to know. Do you all have any questions for me or anything like that? Let's see. We have in the comments. We have any questions? No questions at this time. I hope you are. I hope you're ready to read it. So it's going to be a very good book. Very good book. So let's see here. Yes. So with that being said, anyone have any more questions or anything that they want to ask about that you think that I can give away? I don't want to give you too much because I want you to actually read the book and just enjoy it and just see where it's going to take you. And it is going to you are what I also want you to know is that when as you read the book, you're going to be doing some traveling with Alex also. So I want you to so you will be experiencing some places that you probably may have been or never been. I did do my research on these places and actually read books, watched videos, did research, talked to different people about it, learning different things. So yeah, you're going to enjoy the ride. I hope that when you read these books that you do get that experience as if you are there. I want you to have that realistic experience. But also, this is going to be a book that what I want to get out of the book, and what I want you to get out of the book is pretty much to be, I want to be a part of the group that's giving like a blueprint of independent comic book writing. So, independent comic book writing. So, I want to be part of that blueprint. I want you to look at the Agent 13 as okay, this is a writing style that I would like to try or or read about or look at to see if not look at, yes, that I want you to look and kind of research and kind of take a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and stuff like that. And I want you to use this book as that. So I am excited about it. I hope that you all are excited about it. If you're not following me, please follow me on Scorpio Chronicles. I'm sure Tier has me tagged in a lot of his posts that we posted today. So you can follow me. It's SCO_RPIO Chronicles with an S. And just go through the journey with me. I am going to be posting other stuff um, about it. So looks like Tier is slowly coming back. Are you
Yeah,
back?
in a sense, freaking probably these people can't drive. Somebody probably hit the damn power box or something.
Well, I will
So
look. I was
I'm taking this
just
from
look.
my kitchen.
I, look. I'll let you go ahead and watch it. But I was just pretty much saying how what I want people to get from this book
Hmm.
is how I want to be a part of the other writers and to be considered as, because remember when I mentioned on my Twitter, I want to be part of that blueprint of independent comics, that you take that book and if you want to learn how to write, this is where you learn how to write. So that's why that's what I, or if you wanted to, that's why I try to, I'm a stickler about, I write and I read the whole thing out loud to make sure it sounds right. I want
Yeah,
you to grab that book and say, okay, if you want to learn how to write a good comic book, here, grab this. Here, like like me, what I did was I grabbed Cypher Team.
mhm,
I grabbed a Yama Stigmata. Um,
that's
I
fine.
I read I read those and I was like, okay, I like that writing style. Let me see if I can get a little bit of this and throw my part on it and see. But yeah, I consider that as part of there's you, of course, you Sovereign Comics, part of the blueprint for independent comics is what I consider. I want to be part of that. I call you the Latucci of independent comics
Hopefully, I keep it
because Lil
together though.
Wayne created Young Money and the top three came out of Young Money: him, Nicki, and Drake.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
game has been different, has not been the same since they hit the
So
floor. So that's why I was like,
does that mean SJ and Nikki?
is she?
Oh man. Okay. Well, since that debacle happened with the power, I'm gonna go ahead and try to see what's going on. Like I know it's the power. The whole power is out everywhere, which sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I'm not in my setting. It's crazy, and I know you had to hold on for a hot minute. I
Oh,
appreciate
I
that.
kept talking. I don't know if anybody was there or not. Hell.
Yeah, no, they were there because like I could, because it was like I even went to YouTube to make a comment. I was like, "Yo, my power went out," and then I saw some folks in. So yeah,
Oh
we'll
yeah, I
probably.
was talking. They heard
Mhm.
some. They heard some stuff.
I appreciate that. Thank you for letting that. Thank you for letting that keep going. But we're gonna have this.
Look,
We're gonna.
look, you know how we do.
Mhm.
I got you. You already know that.
Appreciate that.
That shouldn't even been a worry for you. You ought to know I was gonna keep going, talk about my book and all that stuff and all that
I appreciate that.
thing. So, but yeah, that's where I want to go with that book. So, and of course, somebody had mentioned to me, they were like, "Well, what about movies?" I said, if I were to do movies, it would have to be independent.
Of course, the power comes back now. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I'm gonna go outside.
Now the
I'm gonna go
powers
outside.
come back in.
The power's coming back. Oh, that's too bright. See, we can close to the sun.
Lord,
All right. But what I appreciate everybody dropping in. This whole power. Before that, there was other issues too. Me and Scorpio talked about that about the computer being dumb. Then the power
yeah,
decided to go out. But we are going to do a recap of this live, y'all. I'm going to put it on Instagram.
yeah.
And we got a podcast coming too. So I hope that y'all are ready for that. And this is going to be the first show. We're going to kill it. And I really appreciate all of you for dropping in. Scorpio, thank you for holding it
You
down.
know it. You know
My
I'm
power
here.
decided to stop working because of rain, and probably somebody ran into a power switch. I hope if someone did, I hope they're okay. But this happened the last time I think it rained. Like it started raining and
Yeah,
the power kicked out. So, but
you know I'm here
yeah,
for it.
I
I
appreciate
got
it.
you. You ain't got
Well,
nothing to
we're
worry
gonna go
about.
ahead.
I don't know why you concerned. When I saw that
I
screen come out,
appreciate
I'm
it.
like, oh, keep talking. Here we go.
Yep.
This is your show
Something happened.
now.
Something happened.
The
Something
bridge
happened.
with
Oh, and
Scorpio
to let everybody
Chronicles.
Yep, the bridge, Scorpio Chronicles. But to let everybody know too, there's gonna be some after stuff, which me and Scorpio might have to record later. But there's gonna be a little after party type of deal, after the bridge.
Yeah.
When
we don't cross the bridge.
Yeah, we crossed the bridge crossing. Well, I'll come up with a name for you. Y'all know how I am.
The crossover.
But we'll talk about the cross. There it is right there. But we'll talk about that, and it'll be on the Patreon. So if you follow Soccer Comments Patreon, you'll be able to see that, and it might have some more juicy stuff in there. Might.
We'll see.
Might. All right, we'll see. But yeah, Scorpio, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me, of course, on Instagram if you're not following me already. That's I had just gave that out before Tia came back on. It's SCO_RPO Chronicles with an S on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, Scorpio Chronic 1. And those are the main places where I stay on. Well, Instagram is my main place because that's where I get a lot of my people on. I am on TikTok, but you'll see me post that on Instagram. I just go on TikTok just to laugh and watch funny videos. But all of my information is on Instagram. So you can DM me and find me on Instagram. I do respond. When you comment, I do reply back. Because that's just how I believe it should be. You just don't let someone comment and then don't say anything, because sometimes some people needed to hear that. They need to see that funny emoji or you responding back to them. That I know that would give me joy. It gave me joy one time because Rihanna liked one of my posts. I had posted something under Rihanna page, and she ended up liking it. I was like, oh, I was so happy. Tira, you gone again? God damn it. Tira, you gone again? Tira, come back. Ladies and gentlemen, Tira will be back soon. He's in rainy season in Colorado. So yeah, there's my name at the bottom of the screen if you're watching. That's Scorpio Chronicles. That's my Instagram. So yeah, you can find me there. So yes, Tear's gone again. Oh, Tear, I'm gonna need some royal.